What's going on, y'all? It is your girl Ray P back for another episode of the We Got Y'all podcast. Of course, I am not alone. I am here with my always on time, always with the dollar more, never a day late or a dollar short co-host, friend, road dog, partner in crime, and all things above board, Kyron Richardson, aka K Rich. What's up, friend?
What's happening with you, right, P? How you feeling?
I feel I'm here.
Appreciate you as always for the
Always.
opening. Never day late, dollar short. Absolutely.
Never.
Nah, not the definition of that. We ain't doing none of that. Rachel,
Kyron.
I know you had a busy week.
Yes.
I know you went to go see the Queen,
Did. Love her down.
traveled to go see her. So,
Hmm.
in and out while you were traveling and seeing the concert, literally, probably at the same time the concert was
Literally.
starting.
Literally.
Not to laugh. I was watching this episode.
Hmm.
And did not reach out to you because I knew you hadn't seen it, but could
Yeah.
not wait to talk to you about this. I got to tell you about a phone call I got this morning,
Ooh.
early morning. We'll talk about it after we get through the comments. But before we get started, thank you all for tuning in. So we got y'all.
Hmm.
Appreciate you for
Thank you.
listening, checking us out, commenting the whole nine. Thank you. This has been a wonderful experience. These
For
10
sure.
episodes. Sad that this season's ending. Obviously, a lot of you have probably seen the news that season 5 will be the final season of Raising Kanan.
Mm.
Sasha Penn said he planned that his entire time. And I enjoy that. I like when people have a game plan because we don't get any jumping the shark nonsense.
Yeah.
And a lot of shows don't reach their full goal. So the fact that they're able to tell this full story, we're not left hanging. That means a lot in general and to us specifically at
Hmm.
We Got Y'all, because if you've been following us since day one, there's a lot of shows that we talked about that got canceled. Run the World,
Mm.
Rat Shit, Winning
Yeah.
Time. So many shows that we started and love talking about that are no longer here. So it feels good to have something to know when it's going to finish and we can enjoy every step of the ride.
For
Um,
sure.
but let's talk about comments, Rachel. Got to go to
Okay.
YouTube. Got some lengthy comments, so I want to make sure I take the time to read it. So one is from, we got a couple of them actually, from TSF Entertainment.
Okay.
Shout out to them. They also cover shows similar to us.
Yeah.
They're
For
covering
sure.
Raising Kanan. Left some comments before. I want to read a couple that they had today or this past week. What Pop did to Crystal shows us that she and Snaps are willing to sacrifice anyone, loyalty, friendship, even innocence, just to hold on to their power and save themselves. Crystal in this situation is more than just collateral damage. She represents innocence and what happens to people who get tangled up in this world. The ones who believe in loyalty, who think that doing right by people will protect them, they're the ones who end up hurt or worse simply for loving the wrong people in this life. The way Pop exploited Crystal's trust wasn't strategy. It was cruel, calculated, and cold blooded. It wasn't
Hmm.
business. It was betrayal at the deepest human level. At this point, it's clear this isn't about survival anymore. It's just plain evil. Rachel, I know you alluded last week to people in the game
Hmm.
that are just in it. Those are the one who kind of hurt. I think 50 said it in his narration as well. What do you think about that?
Oh, I agree
Overall,
1,000.
cool move.
Oh, for sure. Here's the thing. She didn't have to kill Crystal.
Exactly.
She didn't have, they didn't have to do none of that.
Yeah.
Grab her up, ask her some questions. Dare I say, maybe some light torture. But the reality is, you didn't have to do none of that. You could have let her go then and there. Snap Pop coming in to give her a peanut butter sandwich to rescue her because you showed your hand, because you came and got her. That's the only reason why you quote unquote had to kill her. You could have set anybody up in there to set her free and let you go. You would have never seen the officers anymore. You would have never seen anybody. You did not have to do that. So they're right. The point to it was cruelty. And to use this, if fame, which we'll get to in this episode, If the death of Fame didn't push Kanan so far away from Rock, then this certainly would. So why would I not use every tool that I have to bring you closer to our side, to make you trust us just so much more? But it's stupid. No, they didn't have to do it. It was evil and it was cruel and unnecessary. But the game is the
Well
game.
said. Well said. I agree with you 100%. Can't really add anything else on top of that. Another comment from TSF Entertainment. Kanan doesn't realize that others like Snaps and Pop and even Unique are turning him against his mother.
Mm-hmm. Foolish.
Yep. His trust is misplaced and he is emotionally charged. The people around him, Snaps and Pop, are playing into his desire for independence and manhood. They're feeding
Absolutely.
his, it reminds me of something that Juke tells him this
Mm-hmm.
episode. They're feeding his ego while quietly pulling him away from Rock's influence. It's textbook manipulation, but through Kanan's young eyes, it looks like loyalty. It feels like they've got his back because they're giving him space to make moves, unlike his mother, who always steps ahead, pulling strings he can't even see. And honestly, I'm afraid this is going to push Kanan to the point where he might actually try or succeed in taking out his own mother. This was written 5 days ago before the premiere. That's why TSF Entertainment is covering the show because of
Yeah,
analysis like that. Make sure you check them out.
for sure.
And a reply to that was Lin Vin saying, never liked the child or adult Kanan.
Mm-hmm.
Which, shout out to Lin Vin, who also commented on a Culture Garden episode. Um, Go ahead and respond to what you were going to say, and I have a question for you about Lin Vin's comment.
Oh, I don't know what I was saying, but they're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Um, Kanan, and I said it last week, and I've said it for several weeks. Kanan is a damn kid trying to be in a grown man's business. Snap and Pop know exactly what they're doing, even if Kanan doesn't. And that's exactly the point. I've said it, and then you sent me the Breeze clips this morning from Ghost, the original series. And I think since this season, especially, maybe not the whole series, but definitely this season, maybe the end of the third, has been clear to me how Ghost was able to get the business from up under Kanan. He
And it was easy.
is
Oh,
smart, but he's dumb. He does not have any forethought or foresight, not in ways that are actually beneficial. So having people who are cerebral like a Ghost around, and people who, I don't want to call Tommy a yes man, but people who are able to just be the muscle and don't have to do the thinking, are beneficial to him.
yeah, you can't be around ambitious people, which we learned earlier this season. We'll get into the episode here shortly, opening thoughts the whole nine. But Lin Vin said that young Kanan, old Kanan, both of them trash.
For sure.
The conversation is to be had now. And I'll say this as someone who loved Tariq, so I can't really answer this. Like, I was always team Tariq. Like, even when people started turning on him, like when he first started rocking with Kanan in the original Power, I was fucking with Tariq. Like, since day one. Like, I know I'm in the minority of that, but that was my guy. Who irks you more, Tariq or Kanan?
Oh, for sure. Ooh. I was gonna
It's so
say for
ironic
sure
that
Kanan.
I was just gonna say it's so ironic that Tariq is the reason that Kanan is no longer around. So it's just kind of like they're the same person in a sense. But go ahead, my bad.
They're very much the same person. I think that mm, they are the same person.
Yeah.
Ghost, very much like Rock, tried to keep Tariq away from the shit. I've provided you a life. And the difference even here is that Kanan knew what Rock and her brothers were doing and up to. Tyreek and Raina and them, and didn't have any idea who their father actually was, be it not for Kanan. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, Reek.
Okay.
We got the chance to watch Reek redeem himself, quote unquote.
He never needed no redeeming. I just want
Huh?
to say that. He never needed redeeming, but it's cool.
Well, I'll disagree there.
Yeah,
Uh,
Tariq has never done any wrong. Other than Raina getting shot. That's Raina's fault. She shouldn't have said nothing to Ray Ray.
so Tariq should have killed his father?
Nah, look, I'm definitely talking shit, yo. Don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not being serious at all.
Um, so we got to see Reek in book 2 sort of redeem himself and show how much like Ghost he actually is, despite hating him. As to which, in understanding that next season 5 of Raising Kanan, maybe we will see Kanan. He's still a horrible person, so I don't know if there's a redemption for him
Nah,
in because he's a horrible person. I don't know that there's any redemption for him, but the hope is that since we know that Rock is alive thanks to actual power, maybe we see him sort of have a come to Jesus-ish moment, but because of Reek's character arc, I'm gonna give it to him. But yeah, Kanan is worse by far.
Yeah, Ken is the worst individual. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay. I have more I was going to say on that, but we'll talk about it when we get into the episode.
Okay.
But real quick, before we get there, I do want to. I told you I got a text message at 7:27 this morning
Okay.
on Saturday, right? So I'm like, who the fuck? What do you
And it
want?
wasn't me. So
No, it was not you. It was Chaz. So
hey,
shout out
Chaz.
to Chaz. Chaz just sent a text like, he said, "Yo, you up?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, or he said something like, "You up? What you doing?" I'm like, "I'm actually about to watch Kanan so I can take these notes for the pod."
Mm-hmm.
It was like, "Let me bend your ear for 5 minutes." And I'm like, "All right, bet. Like, what's up?" Called him. When I say an impassioned conversation of, "Yo, my nigga, I just want to let y'all know, like, you and Rachel, like, what y'all niggas do over there on the pod, like, because for context, Chad is he's been on Culture Garden before.
Mm-hmm.
I host best episode ever with him, which will be coming officially in July.
Hey.
But he was like, "Man, you make me want to step my shit up. Like when we do Succession, like the way y'all talk about it, like y'all are what people aim to be in this space." He was like, "The White Lotus was ass, but I watched every single episode because y'all were talking about it."
Mm.
And he ends some accountability. He said, "I don't know what y'all got to do. Y'all need to make more reels. Y'all need to post more because everybody needs to be listening to y'all shit. Everybody needs to be seeing y'all shit." He said, "A lot of people," he said, "Trust me, I'm not just telling you this because you're my brother. Like I've had plenty of my brothers growing up trying to rap." I told them, he said, "I told them niggas that shit was weed plates.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nigga, I'm breaking my weed down on your shit. Like you are not good." He was like, "Not y'all though." He's like, "Man, when y'all get that bag," he said, "and that bag is coming." He said, "Yeah, take one." Like he would just, it was, I don't know, 7 something in the morning and something about getting that call from your brother, and genuinely means it. Like he was up early. Y'all niggas is dope at this. Like y'all really, the chemistry y'all two have is undeniable. It's not lightning in the bottle. And I just wanted to share that with you. And thanks, Chaz. I wanted to say that publicly because that did put a little extra battery in my back, just getting stuff like that, especially so early. I knew it was on your mind because
why would you hit me that early in the morning? No, and he's right. The problem is that somewhere along the line, I've started to hate social media, and I used to be I'm saying SM girly, but it's hard, and so it feels more tedious than second nature. But you're right. We'll get to post it more.
I guarantee you when he hears that, he's going to respectfully say, "I don't give a fuck about none of that."
I know.
Shit on social media for people to see it. But
post and get on up out of there.
well, I was just, me and Spike were just talking about this on another week in the books, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a dedicated day now in my schedule to chop up some stuff for different podcasts I'm part of. So
Amen.
Just to make it go, man, because it is, I think we hear that way too much from people. It's like, all right, now we got to do our part because everybody who seems to listen to it likes it. So we'll see. And that's for beyond we got y'all. There's a lot of big stuff that we do. But either way, shout out to you, Bug. Thanks for that. And let's get into the episode, Rachel. Episode 9. It's about that time. No, I'm sorry. Give me what is it?
Give me the weight. Episode 10.
Wait, yeah, episode 10. No. Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't take my notes. Yeah, that's me. All right, episode 10. Give me the weight.
Yeah.
Directed by Rob Hardy, written by Sasha Penn. Synopsis: a devastated Kanan furiously searches for answers and revenge. Raq attempts to stave off the collapse of her business as she and Lou prepare for a possible war with Unique. Rachel, we had some opening thoughts already, but what were your official opening thoughts as far as you sitting down, starting this episode, and what it was like watching it for the first time?
I just want to come on here and say for the 10th week in a row, this is a Raquel Thomas stan account.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sick of every fucking body. Mm-hmm. I'm sick of Kanan. I'm sick of Laverne. I'm sick of Marvin.
We get the government name.
I'm sick of Unique. The only person who ain't worked my nerves this episode is Lou Thomas. Yeah. That's the only one who I can rely on to hold my sis down. Candidly, Marvin did have Raq's back when it came to his discussion with Juke, but I was so taken aback, and I want to go back to episode 1 of the season.
Okay.
The theme, quote unquote, of the episode is that all of this happened, but none of what you saw is what actually happened. What you think you saw is not what it was. Yep. In this episode, the finale really was the culmination of that for me, especially in regards to Raq. Everybody think they saw something. Everybody thinks they know her in a capacity in which they don't. And here I was it last week or the week before, singing Raq and Juke's praises for the relationship that they have, only for Laverne ass to come this week and be like, nah, bitch, you actually was ignoring me. You only paid me attention when I was with Kanan. I was just sitting here. It doesn't mean that I wasn't forming my own thoughts about you, about anybody else. It's low-key, fuck you, and I see you because I'm not a kid.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I said, I'll whoop Laverne ass.
That was a tough scene. It's probably the scene of the episode, in my opinion. But we'll get to it when we get to the characters.
I was so taken aback. And again, consider the conversation. I think it's episode 4 or 5 when Marvin says to Raq, like, they are the determiners of how we were as parents. And so now we know that Kanan has all this aggression towards Raq because, okay, you lied about who my father was. Then you made me kill my daddy or tried to kill my daddy. Then you went back and killed the nigga. You allegedly killed I know you were behind them killing one of my homeboys. Now I think you killed my best friend. Now you killed my girl. All of this mischaracterization of your mother, who for the life of me has only tried to protect you. She's one step ahead because she's always one step ahead, not just of you, but for the most part, up until this season, damn near ahead of everybody else. It's unfortunate and it's fucked up, and I feel bad for my girl. That's number 1 off the dribble. I have to, Patina Miller, Raquel, sis, I see you.
Hold on. All right. Everything you said was received and very, very well said. What about the side that says, yes, Raq's intent is good? And we just talked about this as well. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Sure.
The way she goes about it, and she even admits it, there's a lot of things that I've done that I wish I could take back.
Sure.
Does she get some of it?
What do you mean?
For Kanan's resentment and Juke's question, like when it reaches a point where you can start believing or it's not undeniable. I think I use you as an example when we talk about this, right? Somebody can say something about Rachel. I know right away if it's true or not. I know right away. I know Rachel that well. So, given that a lot of the foul shit that people say you could see Rock doing, has she earned that reputation in the sense to where, yes, Kanan's going too far. This is not a cape for Kanan. Like, I want to slap Kanan around too. But is there any kind of weight that she has to carry?
Okay.
For the reason why Kanan and Juke feel the way they feel.
So look, I'm going to take that. When Kanan presented Lou with the information of Rock killing Famous and Crystal, Lou shut it down immediately. Why? Because he actually knows his sister.
Yeah.
Even if I don't know that you be fucking unique, bitch. I know you. And I know some shit is a bridge too far for you. Marvin, me and you, it was just fuck you 15 minutes ago. When Laverne ass went to her father, who is not just big brother, but had to watch his sister take over the business for him when he was incapacitated, he too was like, my sister ain't had shit to do with neither one of those things. Why? Because he knows his sister. You can say that because you know me. We do culture garden. School could be like, Ray might have did da 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 da. Come to you with that because you know me. You like Laverne. I mean, you like Marvin. Like Luke could be like, man, she ain't do that shit. However, despite the fact that we're close and have been doing the pod for X amount of time, the relationship is not the same.
That's fair. That's fair. All right.
Even though Kanan is her son, Laverne is the niece, y'all are still kids, and there's only so much y'all know about me. Yeah, you can see it, but none of what you see is exactly how it was because you have a limited perspective and you don't know what the fuck we be doing. Yeah, you sitting here, but you're not behind these closed doors when shit is really going left. You don't actually know what the fuck we got going on, what kind of war is actually brewing.
Facts. That's a great rebuttal. And as you say that, it does make you
cool, by the way. Go ahead.
Cool. It does make you realize or remember what it's like to be 17 and 18 and think you know everything.
Yeah, don't know shit.
Don't know shit. So to that degree, you're absolutely right. I will say that. Okay. Let's get into it, Rachel.
Let's get into it. Fuck them kids. I'm mad.
Let's talk about it. Where do you want to start?
I'm mad at they asses.
There's plenty of places to go.
Plenty of places to go.
I think I'll throw it out there. Let's go ahead and let's talk about something real quick, just to put it out there.
Okay.
A little small nugget we learned that's going to have an impact on season 5 as well. Phil was the one that asked Stefano to kill Sal.
Yeah.
So he could take the top spot in New Jersey, which Teresa, Sal's wife, alluded to Unique. He just never had
I missed in my first watch. I didn't catch that line until my rewatch from Teresa. And I was like, oh shit, not foreboding.
So exactly. So shout out to women. Women will tell you what's going on, right? Who to keep an eye on, who not, who cool, the whole nine, right? Phil stabs Stefano. At the time, we think it's over. Then we find out, which makes sense to what Teresa said. Phil just ain't got it. He can't sell it. Right? Everything he does, he fucks up. He's pretending to be a boss. He takes a swing and he misses.
Yeah.
So now, fuck whatever, because we already at war. Because Stefano ain't dead. So you might as well do whatever you want to Unique, the whole nine. I just thought that was very interesting for us to know that all of that started, and this whole thing between them and the Thomases and Unique, and the way it started, all started on the lie.
Yeah.
And Stefano even agreed to that, which was crazy.
Phil not really being about that life is crazy. as to which it makes total sense why he was so apprehensive on the you still owe me what you owe me, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight, because you didn't really want to go to war with them, even though you want to be the big boss. But like James Brown said, and get on up, the man in front got to be the man in front.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil ain't got it, which is why you continue to take less than deep body shots opposed to going for the jugular once Stefano came down. I
Yep.
ain't never been in a knife fight. I'm just saying, I think that's
You
I
know what's
think
wrong
that's
with
how it should go. Once
Yeah.
the body is down, you're right there. Just take it so you know that the job is done and you don't have to anticipate blowback.
That I can't even explain how negligent that is. To try to take out a boss and not make sure he's dead, like not be for certain.
You just lost one. It's unfortunate. But so he essentially he gives Unique and Akbar and them the green light to go light New York on fire, set the city ablaze. And that is essentially what we see them do. We see them take out the fish shop, take
Mhm.
out the restaurant, um, attempt to take out Marvin at the other dispo drop spot, and that too was unsuccessful.
Thank
I
you,
am
by the way. Thank you. I know I've been calling for it. I thought it was going to happen. I'm very happy. I want to make
yeah,
sure everybody knows. Extremely happy Marvin is still with us. As soon as that scene happened, I'm like, oh shit, is this it? But my man
yeah.
got out of there alive. I'm happy with it.
As to which, I'm not gonna say it, but I told you.
You did. You did. There were a lot of things that I think we got right.
For sure.
When we get to the
For
season.
sure.
Um, those Molotov cocktails,
Crazy.
niggas was throwing them like GTA, like Max Payne or some shit.
I am very curious on how the five families actually respond to this, even if they don't know that it was Phil Russo. But what is the Italian response going to be to someone not only taking out Stefano or hospitalizing Stefano, but then attacking his businesses and whatnot? They have to respond.
Yeah, and this is why the criminal enterprises are interesting
Mhm.
because, in an odd roundabout way, Phil or Stefano, the Stefano told Marvin this episode, you can't rewind things and make them right. You know what I'm saying? You can't go back and make it right.
Mhm.
Same thing with both of them because they're already screwed either way because of
Yeah.
that decision to take out Sal. Because on one hand, Phil has leverage on Stefano, but the
Mhm.
leverage they equal out. They equal out. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You would think that Phil will want to wait and see if he dies, because if he dies, there's nothing to really be said on Phil's
Right.
behalf. Like that's something that you can eliminate. That just tells me as a viewer that Stefano's not going to die,
Mhm.
and that is fuck it. It's up. We might as well hit first if we're gonna do this. Now, I don't know how safe Stefano is because if they don't kill Phil first, Phil can broker a meeting
For sure.
and tell them he's the one that actually took out Sal. But I don't know if New York's going to give a fuck because Sal was New Jersey, and that ain't
Right.
our business.
Right.
Except for the fact they have a very, very, very specific code and set of
Mhm.
rules. You need permission to do certain things, and he did not get permission. So they might take out Stefano anyway because of that. But that's all speculation. I too am curious to see what's going to happen because there's a lot of muscle and a lot of firepower, and it's going to be a big explosion.
For sure.
This final season is going to be insane. So, uh,
Mm.
yeah, but also staying on the track of Unique. We got to talk about the most obvious part. Raq comes to visit him. I mentioned this was how the episode was going to open. Even though it started with Kanan terrorizing an apartment, it quickly panned back and forth to Unique and Lou, who we saw at the end of last week pull up
Mhm.
on, excuse me, Raq and Lou
Rockin' Lou. Mhm.
pull up on Unique at the tailor shop. Rachel, a lot was said, a lot was done. Let's get into it.
So I have been a fan of Unique despite this season. You know, I liked him as the nemesis. And maybe some of this is what I'm about to say is clouded by some of the real life cultural commentary going on right now around some of these men. I've never looked at Unique as a lame. But now you're a lame ass nigga to me.
Rock was hot about that shit.
Rock was hot about that shit. So first off, when Unique reveals himself to Raquel, she says, "Me and you had something." So now your whack Roger Klotz looking ass is gonna come in here.
Damn.
Well, I'm coming in your space.
Shout out to Doug.
Show my age.
You just pulled that out the bag. Shout out to Doug, man. Roger Klotz. Nigga dudes like Roger Klotz, man. You gotta chill, Rachel. The fucking jacket. The fucking Gumby. Yo, you gotta relax, man.
You coming here calling me everything but a child of God. I'm all types of hoes. You telling my little brother how I like to get fucked. Boy, fuck you. Are you fucking crazy? And again, shout out to Raquel, Stone Cold Steve Austin, fucking Stephanie Austin ass. She doesn't break. She's not shook. But you're such a lame ass nigga because that's the only thing you can say. Yeah, we was fucking. So what? You weren't fucking me to make power moves. You was doing it because you liked that shit and you wanted to. Had to make your ass stop. You're so... Even after Kanan told that nigga last week, I'm the one that killed your brother. I did all of this, and you know I ain't really working with my mom. What the fuck is your problem? Why are you not hearing that you have really a one-sided beef with me for no goddamn reason? I didn't do shit to you. I made sure your bitch and her... Now, let me stop calling women bitches. I made sure your woman and your child was safe and could protect him from your nutty ass brother. What are you mad at me for? Because I got back in business with Stefano? I didn't take shit from you. And now I'm going to take Panessa life, that son life, and you got to die. All y'all. Or you're going to watch. I'm going to incapacitate you to the point of no return at this point. We will see who calling who daddy.
We will see who's calling who's daddy. Yeah. Rock's reaction to your point reminded me of the cold open or the opening of the commentary from older Kanan, where you can't show your emotions. You show emotion, whether good or bad, people will use it against you. And in that moment, Rock stood true to that because he said that and literally, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, brilliant the way they shot it. You have the commentary about showing emotion. And yeah, there's something to be said about showing emotion to the people who are in your camp or closer. But I do think it's funny how Kane is tearing up the apartment, flipping shit over when he's mad. And then it pans to Rock, who's mad about something, but stone-faced getting this shit done.
Yeah.
Take it even further. The only reason I'm here is because of Kane.
Yeah.
So we were both right in that sense, Rachel, where we talked about last week, and I asked you, what do you think's the reason for this visit? What do you think is going to be said? And you said a multitude of things, but you also mentioned stay away from Kanan.
Yeah.
100% was correct. To your point, as you said earlier, Unique. I bet you didn't know I was tapping that ass. It's like, I don't even know what that has to do with anything.
It has nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah, Lou kind of
wasn't beefing. You're telling me my sister likes to fuck. So what? Who doesn't?
You can view it. So you can view Lou's reaction as a side eye or like, what the fuck is you telling me this for? Like, what's
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, like
It's a
yeah,
both.
but it's more so like all right. And if you want to dig into what I just mentioned earlier, Lou's just not getting back in the game. Lou
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have flinched. Like shouldn't even look. Like just
Yeah.
keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Not doubting him for it, but obviously it's whatever. Because he was saying some wild shit. When it comes to the other side of things, which is what I said, Rachel, it was also a warning. It was that meeting before the meeting. It was that
Yeah.
meeting in heat at the coffee shop. Nigga, I do what I do, you do what you do. So
For
this is
sure.
what we're doing. Rock said directly, nigga, you've been warned. Do with that what the
What you
fuck you
will.
do. That's it. You've been warned. If my family's off on limits, then yours is too.
For sure.
You reminded me of, shout out to my favorite show of all time, reminded me of The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
Marlo, when Omar robs the card game in season 4.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga Omar was on some, this a robbery. That's it. Marlo wanted to take it there. And this nigga Omar looked at him and said, oh, that's how you want to carry it? Because I can find you and your people a
Mm-hmm.
lot easier than you can find me. And that's the way Rock was even carrying it.
For sure.
You got people out here in these streets too. And I promise they can get touched. And we see at the end of the episode,
For sure.
they're now in the possession of the Thomases.
Now in the possession of the Thomases is Panessa and Son. Not just the Thomases, but we saw B Rilla being the getaway driver for Lou in his little scoot around. So shout out to that. You were right that he would somehow become entangled with the Thomas family.
Yeah, he had to. I called that early in the season.
Very much so. Very much so. You did. I'm just so fucking mad at you, Nick, about that shit. It's never a nigga who was begging me for some ass, calling me all types of hoes. Like, bitch, stop fucking playing with me.
Unfortunately, that's how a lot of
Not
niggas
like
do.
it was me and it was real, but I'm just so sick of everybody playing on Rock's top. It's pissing me off.
Yeah. We gotta stick with Rock a little bit because I just want to talk about one thing that happened.
Yeah.
The last man standing, Irwin,
Mm-hmm.
owns one of the Chinese restaurants. We've seen them interact. We've seen Irwin actually be the most stand up of it all.
For sure.
I understand from the sense of I understand what I got myself into.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna run at the first sign of trouble. Yeah, bodies might be dropping, some unsavory things might be happening, but every time there's a mistake, you come with more money, you rearrange the deal, you make it comfortable for me. Now it's at a point of no return.
Mm-hmm.
Irwin's pretty much like, man, fuck that. I'm not a business with you. Rock reminds him of our conversation we married, if y'all remember that from a few episodes mid-season. He said, I don't give a fuck. Well, if you don't want me to do nothing to you, I'll do something to your family.
They gone 2 steps ahead.
All of them back in China. And I'm old, nigga. Do whatever you got to do. And then tells a fable, I guess, of one done.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much about being an animal and not even knowing it, being a monster and not even knowing it. This is just a setup for season 5. I don't know if she does anything to Irwin. I don't think it's something we need to see. I'm assuming that that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And Irwin's pretty much out the picture because Unique flamed his restaurant anyway. So
anyway,
I don't think there's anything for his character to do. But Rock is going to have no supply or no way to move it. No Stefano, no trucks, no Irwin, no restaurants. So obviously it's laying the foundation for what we're going to see season 5. Did you have any commentary on that? I just thought it was a real groundwork scene as far as what she's going to be getting into in the future. And obviously not seeing herself. Like I think that was the big moral of it. Like you're a monster and can't see yourself.
Yeah. Again, everybody's playing on my girl's top. I think she's not blind to who she is.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. She knows exactly who she is. She has a very good sense of self-awareness.
Which makes all of the accusations, I think, that much harder to take. If we got in this season or even season 5, we know that she survives. Maybe she grazed him because we don't know Kanan to actually be a fucking shooter. We seen what you did to your daddy at point blank range. So
Juke is a shooter.
So yeah, Juke is a shooter. And so being that Laverne was not there, for all we know, fucking he missed her completely or again grazed her or shot her in the arm or some shit. Like, bitch, you don't know how to do this shit. You're not no top dog like that.
Mm-hmm.
If we got a scene of Raq like crying in the shower at some point, alone, just truly her by herself, I could take that, and it would not diminish her as Raquel the Rock. You know what I'm saying? It,
Yeah, of
it just
course.
wouldn't, because at some point, literally everybody is gunning for you. And that is the problem when you are the top dog. If ever there was anything to make me understand who was really running Southside Jamaica, Snaps and Pop think they are. But if y'all was running it like that, you wouldn't be after Kanan, after Rock so much, because you would just be able to be living your life. And
Yeah.
so all of the turmoil against her lets me know that she really is who she thinks she is and who they
Mhm.
think she is, you know?
She a
My
threat.
girl,
She a
my
threat. Like
girl,
you
my
said,
world,
Rachel, if she wasn't, then none of this would matter. That
for sure,
she'd just be a goofy nigga in Southside that's trying to move some weight. Like
for
nothing to
sure.
worry about, you know. But small thing to a giant, as they say. But she's a
Mhm.
giant herself, and people are threatened, and it is what it is. Um, Speaking of characterizing who Rock is, Kanan still reeling and
Mhm.
upset after finding out about Crystal.
Mhm.
He obviously, well, real quick before I get there, we might as well talk about the scene in the opening where he's tearing up his apartment, angry. Juke's there. Kanan says something that I thought was very interesting. It's really
Mhm.
not about Crystal. It is, but it ain't. It's
Yeah.
literally that point where I'm realizing at a very young age that anything that I love and I get close to is going to get taken away. And from everything that I can see with my young mind, it's getting taken away by Rock. And it
And
feels
nothing
like,
is being taken away by Rock. Go
yeah, and
ahead.
it feels like an endless cycle.
Mhm.
Um, the issue is obviously he thinks that Rock has everything to do with his downfall and his
Mhm.
misgivings. D Wiz, Fame, Howard, Crystal, maybe OC. Like he's throwing everything on Rock. It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
And Juke, he's trying to talk Juke into this,
Mhm.
which is already your bad sign.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to. You should have all the evidence there, and it should be clear as day. If you're talking about
Mhm.
something like this, you shouldn't be sitting there trying to convince Juke, because Juke is sitting there on some like, oh, see now too. Like, come on,
Yeah.
bro. Like, what we really on? And she talked some sense into him. I know you were probably delighted the same way I was. What does Crystal got to do with your mom? Like, that's not
Yeah.
business. Watch out for them Bonnie and Clyde niggas, because that's how old motherfuckers operate. They will tell you something to make it their advantage and twist your head up. Like
That's
Juke's a
it.
mile away.
And that's the first, but this is the first time even she's made any reference to the potential of what Snap and Pop is telling him.
Mm-hmm.
As to which I was waiting for that for about 2 episodes. So I'm
So,
glad that we finally got her doing that. But again, it still felt too little too late, especially since even though she's trying to talk him out of it, but now she has doubts.
mm-hmm.
So you're not that convincing.
Mm-hmm.
No.
He said it like they don't need to. As he's saying, like Snap and Pop are just trying to put this in your head, and he says like they don't need to. I believe it already. I know who she is, and that's a theme that kept coming up. Who
Mm-hmm.
are you really?
Yeah.
Once again, you said it perfectly, Rachel. Connecting the dots from booking to booking,
Mm-hmm.
episode 1 all the way to episode 10.
Mm-hmm.
What you see ain't necessarily how it is.
Yeah.
Kanan says, I see who you are. Juke says, I see who you are. Marvin, Lou, nah, this is who she is.
Mm-hmm. They telling
Everybody
you the
telling Rock
niggas
about
can know
herself.
her.
Exactly. Everybody telling Rock about herself. And I wanted to reference, you made the connection a few episodes back. I forget which one it was, when you started calling Rock Raquel.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could see more of the human side and things maybe taking a little bit more of a toll than what she's let on.
For sure.
And when you think about this entire season of what she's been going through,
Mm-hmm.
starting with um, the visit to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to where we are now,
Mm-hmm.
son hating her, accusing her of the worst things.
Literally.
How can you still stand strong and survive? And we ain't even talking about the business side of things. We're not even talking about all the chaos is going on over there. Even Marvin alluded to
Marvin
it.
said it's a lot of shit going on.
Juke said Juke usually has that comeback. Like there's always
Mhm.
something, nigga, not like this.
Not like
I feel
this.
what you're saying, but this is different.
Because y'all don't know. Again, y'all
Mhm.
think y'all know. Y'all have no idea what we are truly up against. And you're so right. Shout out to Raquel. This makes me want to move. It may let me know if you think it's premature into Juke.
Okay, we got it. I was gonna mention that Lou scene with Kanan.
Okay, go.
We talked about it. You want
Okay,
to talk about that now? Or you want to talk about Juke?
no, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
think Juke
We can
scene
wrap
is
Blue up. Yeah,
Juke scene is kind of similar, but I think it's much more.
for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, this is the only thing left we got to talk about Lou because he's pretty
Hmm.
much on recon work with Pernessa. But Kanan comes to see Luke
Hmm.
and upset that he's back with Rock. Can't understand it after all the shit she done to you.
And what did she do to him? Nothing.
It's really simple for Lou,
That's my
and this is
sister.
something that Kanan needs. Yeah, it's my sister.
Hmm.
You, Marvin, Rock, Andrew, y'all family. Ain't nothing gonna change that. This is great writing from the sense of Kanan needed to hear this and Lou needed to say it. He needed to come
Yeah.
to the realization that one thing that I've learned is I make my decisions
Hmm.
and nobody does that for me. I have the right to say no and yes to things. And as a man, I gotta stand on it.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure that shit's clear as day. And you should stand by your decisions the same way. Because I'm hearing you fucking with Unique.
Hmm.
Makes zero sense.
Crazy.
Makes zero sense when you think about it. Everybody is standing on one side, and here you are on the other. And it's not just about Rock. Yeah, he says anybody standing next to Rock, he coming after all of us. So
That's
yeah,
it.
fuck Rock, you saying fuck us too. Which in this game, I can't be your uncle and be on the opposite side. It's got to be one or the other. I want to make sure you know the importance of the decision and to show Kanan's a kid once again. Kids are bratty.
Hmm.
Kids are emotional.
Hmm.
Lou chastises Kanan for talking to Unique. He plays it off and say, well, he ain't fucking people with Rock. Snap and Pop bring it up. Outsiders. Unique did all the talking.
Hmm.
He's intentionally trying to make Lou feel like shit fucking with Rock. Even though he
Hmm.
ain't, the idea of fucking with Unique is all his. He ain't even really gave thought to it. He's got other stuff on his mind.
Yeah.
He's not going to allude that to Rock because he wants him to think that Rock is, or excuse me, to Lou, because he wants Lou to think that Rock is the most terrible person in the world. So I thought that was interesting as well.
But you can't make me think that about a nigga that raised me.
Exactly. Kanan's favorite thing to do is run
Mhm.
down Rock's hit list, her blame list, whatever you want to call it. You don't think she took out Fame? Where the fuck you told her hear that from? Neek? Don't matter where I heard it from. She could do it. She took out D Wiz, nigga. I killed D Wiz. And not
So
only
now
did I
what?
kill, and not only did I kill D Wiz, I had a chance to save him.
Mhm.
And I honestly believe if I said no to killing D Wiz, he'd still be alive today because your mom don't move like that.
Mhm.
She did it because I needed to be done, but she had me pull the trigger. And then goes into the story of their mom. Our mom was suffering, dying from the cancer. Asked me
Mhm.
and Marvin to kill her, to take her pain away. We couldn't take that shit away. We were selfish. Rock said, fuck that. She got to wear that weight. She took it on for Marvin and for me.
Mhm.
So Rock is going to go to the whole measure of killing her, unaliving her own mother at her
Mhm.
request. If she really wanted D Wiz out of here, she would have taken care of D Wiz.
That
She
part.
wouldn't put that on me.
Mhm.
She thought I could carry it and I couldn't.
Mm.
Same way she told the same famous scene, maybe the best scene in Raising Kanan history to me, at least one of them. The infamous Rock Lou conversation when she just got that new crib.
Mhm.
Told him about Scrap.
Yeah.
Nigga, I gotta wear that. I fucked up. Scrap ain't do that shit.
Mhm.
She can do that. Other people can't.
Yeah.
Your mother is more of a nigga than any man you know, or
For
more of
sure.
a man, excuse me, than any nigga you know.
Yeah.
Just an incredible scene, and hopefully Kanan let it resonate. And I was looking at it like, Lou, you and Kanan close enough an age where you can square up with this nigga for real. Like, I
For
want him to fight that
sure. For
guy. I really
sure.
want him
It's
to. I really
time.
want him to fight.
It's time. I told you that Lou has probably been more of a cousin than an uncle at
Mm-hmm.
this point, and now it's time. Who hasn't squared up with their cousins?
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
At this point, and I was thinking this. I was, well, two things. Number one, as soon as you started talking, all I kept hearing was my man, R.I.P. Earl Simmons, in my ear. Used to be my dog. You was in
It
my
was in my
left
left
titty.
titty.
Dream, ride or die. I thought you would die with me. Found out you was a bitch. Now what's the word? You can't even ride with me. Or what is it? You can't even side with me. Now what's the war? You ain't on the side with me. What if this, between this conversation, Kanan potentially shooting at Rock, causes the schism in the Thomas family? Here is the thing. This is what gets Juke to move. Because we learn, and I'm jumping the shark, she stays because of Marvin. A couple episodes ago, I think I was telling y'all about family relationships and the kids versus the siblings. Siblings are locked and loaded. You can love your kids, but that relationship, unless I've done something dire to your children, is impenetrable. And that's what Laverne and Kanan don't understand, because they don't have siblings other than each other. How
Yeah.
they ride for each other is how Lou, Marvin, and Raquel ride for each other. Now you've taken a shot at my sister, which is like taking a shot at me. And if it's fuck me, then I love you, but it's fuck you.
These niggas more dysfunctional than the Lannisters. Like,
Shout out to the Thrones.
shout out to them Thrones, but my goodness, man, this family is all over the place, and I have no. The reason I'm thinking that is because you made a great point,
Mhm.
and I can very much see it happening. Um, yeah, I can see it happening. I have a whole theory on why I think Juke moves,
Okay.
but I don't want to say it because I promise y'all I don't want. I think the only way Juke moves, especially after this episode, and we can go ahead and talk
Is it
about this.
something happening to Marvin?
Something happened to Marvin, and
Mhm.
the way that I feel that season 5 is going to play out, unless there's a time jump, we're not even going to get into the. I don't think anybody leaves.
Mhm.
If anybody were to die, I think it's off camera years later.
Yeah.
Um, we'll talk about the timeline as well. I got a little thought about that. There might be a little bit of inconsistency compared to something that I said earlier.
Mhm.
But we know it's 1992
Yeah.
based off of Joyce's headstone.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't think there's going to be enough time in one season to get into the full Breeze story and get what we know as the origin of Ghost and Tommy, because I don't think they would do that in one season.
For sure, but
We'll meet
I
them. We'll
did.
meet them for sure.
Yeah. Well, we met. There is, I believe, an article. It's either Spin, but it definitely Stars announced that there is a Tommy and Ghost,
Spin-off.
essential spin-off origin story that is already in the works. I think there's two more power related shows. Is that one and something else that are in the pipeline.
Yeah. Also, two things, because this made me think of it. Shout out to Chaz again. He's gonna be
What's
hyped when he hear you rap that Jadakiss, that Rough Rider. Also, he was always a fan of, you talk about the power spinoffs. He always wanted that Tate spinoff. He wanted that Congressman Tate, Governor Tate, wherever we left off with Tate. That'd have been interesting. But I think him showing up in Ghost was enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'll see. Juke. So before we get to the scene,
Mm-hmm.
a couple other things going on. Garcia
Yeah.
pulls up on Juke, as he has been, one of the most consistent, persistent cops. I got to talk to you about that Crystal girl, because they said there's a black woman coming out the building. Last time I checked, you a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
You asking about her. That's making you a person of interest.
Yeah.
Juke like, all right, I ain't about to fall for that dumb shit. And Garcia know he's grasping at air. But it obviously concerns Juke, not from the sense of I'm a person of interest, but because after
Right.
Kanan just told me about Rock, Now I'm thinking, damn. Now here's one thing that really pissed me off. And Juke is smarter than this, and I'm putting this on her. You wouldn't ask Garcia what time was this witness seeing this woman, and then try to maybe connect the dots somewhere indirectly with where was Rock at during this time. You don't have to ask Rock because you don't believe her anyway. So that wouldn't do no good. You can find it out from Marvin indirectly. You can find it out from someone. Oh yeah, me and Rock was doing this. We was at this meeting taking care of this. Or try to put the pieces together with the time of day. Get her somewhere. Like try to. I get it. You're young. You're emotional. Of course, you don't really think about something like that. But I was still mad that nobody went to the bus station to see, hey, anybody see this girl?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other things I think they should be doing besides blaming Rock for their problem.
They're some fucking kids.
Yeah, I think that's it. And I think that's me riding for Rock and wanting Rock to be vindicated. That's going to be the satisfaction that we're going to get when this nigga Kanan finds out that Snap and Pops was behind all this shit that he blaming Rock for. Rachel, I can't tell you. It's going to be Joffrey. I'm not going to say anything, but you already know what I mean. It's going to be Joffrey celebration. When it gets to that point, because I can't wait for his face. I can't wait for an apology. That little dickhead probably still going to blame her for something. I don't know. Either way.
The retribution for me, and this is, I believe in smiting folks. This is why I don't have no power. This is why the Lord is still working on me, because get this nigga. You did all of that shit. You talked all of that shit. And you are going, as somebody who hates eating crow, who I love running my mouth, very seldom will I admit to being wrong. I'm wrong about little shit. You're wrong about who and how your mother operates entirely. On top of already being a fucked up kid, this is going to add so much in contributing to why Kanan Stark is an awful fucking person. You're a bad kid. This is a fucking bad seed. And so now all of this that you put on your mother and blamed and spun and spun and spun, and everybody knew better. You would think that even Lulu, your uncle cousin, telling you, nah, that ain't it. You would think that that would be enough to, even if it doesn't convince you, to at least sway you, to at least make you think. Juke, the only person that we've watched you listen to for 4 seasons, even before she lost her goddamn mind coming at Raquel crazy, even when she said, I just really don't think that. Have you considered Snap and Pop? These grown motherfuckers you don't know like that, who greenlit you killing your other partner, who appeared out of thin air essentially to get you to do all of this work. Have you thought about them in the least bit? And you have nothing. Your vitriol for your mother is that strong?
Always look at the direction where you're getting your information from. You get fed information from somewhere, you at least got to take them into account. Like, at least. That's it. I'm not saying they did it. You got to consider them.
Even the pushback that you're receiving from them, anytime you ask them shit, you little young ass, you're not paying attention to body language. You're not paying attention to how they're speaking, the cadence of their tone. And again, shout out to Wendell Pierce and Erica Woods, because they are killing their roles as manipulative ass gangsters who are poisoning the mind of this young boy. Oh, it's pissing me off. I'm so sick of them. But back to the juke of it all.
Yeah, so
to the juke of it all.
So we see her and Nakia, who was their manager, I guess, at that point with Butter.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Aisha, they're meeting, and she just wanted to reach out. Like, I'm sorry about Crystal. Um, I've lost artists before, which was crazy. But not in this way.
This is
Like,
the
this kind
dangerous
of,
game.
yeah, music business, man. Um, I just want to check on you. Just want to make sure y'all doing okay. No, basically,
Jukebox.
Jukebox, what's going on, girl? I was like, you give it out. I was like, damn, ain't shit going on. Leave me the fuck alone. Well, see, Juke is fine. She doesn't really want to be there. She doesn't want to open up emotionally. And she
Did you
said,
say despondent?
well, she being her.
No, that was I wrote that down too. Like Juke is despondent. That's how I was
Oh,
like.
yeah, yeah. Oh, you wrote it down, see?
Yeah.
That's what Chaz was talking about. That's shit Chaz was talking about. She tells a kid, like, you seem so different now. Now, I was different
Mhm.
before. Now I'm the same again.
Which is right.
Which we kind of sprinkled with this and how big of a season this has been for
Mm-hmm.
Laverne / Juke.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems, I don't know, seasons ago when she was in the army,
Yeah.
and leaving there and going to Spelman. Like, that was all this season. And just to see the arc of where she's
Mm-hmm.
been and see kind of how, when you talk about origin story, this is it. This is how you
Yeah.
write a character and that turning point of when they become who you know them to be. And we're
Mm-hmm.
still learning about Juke, but it's 100% there. There is no
Yeah.
going back at this point. She's seen too much. She's done too much. And now she has a reason to stay in New York. She's with Aisha, which I was wrong. I thought we were never going to see Aisha again. She was like, nah, come over here and, you know what I'm
Let
saying?
me see you.
It is good to see a little bit of that hope or human nature,
Mm-hmm.
even if she is alluding to it like Bad Girls.
Yeah.
She's fitting. She's no longer trying to run away from her family
For
and what
sure.
they're known for. She's actually leaning into it. She's saying it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's convincing herself or she's just accepting it. Some people might have different thoughts on that. I think she's accepted it, while others might think she's convincing herself. But Aisha says you should come to Atlanta, come to Spelman. You got the grades, and then we talked about it. I can't leave Marvin. Like, when everybody else left me, he was there. Even
Mm-hmm.
when he didn't agree with my lifestyle. The most stubborn nigga I know changed because of me.
Yeah.
And if I leave, and this was the telling part, if I leave, there's no one here to have his back.
Mm-hmm.
Not Lou, not Kanan, definitely not Rock.
Mm.
I want to get your thoughts on this whole ordeal that she's having with Aisha and just that moment of realizing, I'm sorry. I know you had hope for me. I know you wanted me to be something, but I'm accepting who I am. Along with, I think that this sets up Marvin and Juke are going to be doing their own thing in season 5.
For sure. So I thought that was a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this is after Rock and Juke's conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So now, for 4 seasons, 3.5, we've watched, I don't want to say Juke idolize Rock, but prior to this season, there was no inclination that Juke may have felt some kind of way about Rock. There was nothing that gave
Right.
credence to that. You know what I'm
The
saying?
opposite. The opposite, Rachel.
The total opposite.
Us. You the one I'm calling after I get my procedure to get rid of you niggas, baby. Like, there was the complete opposite.
Exactly. And so now, Laverne having put on her big girl panties and step into Rock, and now I'm in this bed telling you that, she definitely won't look out for my dad. You have no history, no knowledge of Rock not looking out for Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's pissing me off about she and Kanan both, um so much and so badly, because Rock has done nothing but look out for Marvin. Me and Marvin can fight because we're siblings. I
Mm-hmm.
can be mad at you, but I'm still gonna step for you. The same way when Stefano presented Marvin with the shit, he had Rock's back. Even if maybe deep down he felt like there was some truth and maybe I could run this shit differently, he would never let him know that. When it was presented to Rock, she had Marvin's back to Stefano because that's her brother. Even if I'm cussing you the fuck out in the car, even if I'm mad at you, I have your back. I took care of your daughter while you were charmed up and in jail because I have your back.
Mm-hmm.
I still take care of your daughter. I mean, she moved in with you now, but I let her in because I have your back. I did not let her go to the streets and do whatever else. Lulu, I have your back. When you're fucking up my shit, putting all of our operation in jeopardy because your drunk ass is running your mouth, I didn't put you down.
Mm-hmm.
I sent your ass to rehab because I have your back. I the mischaracterization of her is setting me on fire. And it just that's life. But it was just so disappointing because now you done stepped in it in a way because you a niece, not a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
not a sister. I'm not saying it'll never be the same once you come back to your right mind, but it ain't gonna be the same.
Can't be. It can't be. Not after stuff you said. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's it. It just won't be. So it's unfortunate. And I understand. I appreciate Juke having this retrospective, introspective look at herself and look at Marvin because what she said in regards to him is absolutely correct. My father, who was an awful person, did change primarily for me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He didn't want me out here fucking bitches. Beat me up behind it. But now he doesn't mind that you in my room. Side,
Mm-hmm.
you know. He supported my music career. He's at all the shit in the way, but at the shit trying to make up for lost time. You put somebody down for me. Well, I put him down, but you went to go defend my honor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yes, there is a father-daughter beauty in their relationship that for the most part that we see he didn't want you out here shooting guns and stealing his gun, so he gave it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what she said is right in regards to him, but also she should have got her ass on that bus or whatever with Aisha and go to Atlanta. Say you don't go to Clark, go to Spelman. Don't stay in Atlanta. Go to Savannah. Go somewhere else. Get the fuck away from all of this shit and start over. But I understand not wanting to leave Marvin for those reasons. It's just unfortunate because you think you know, but you really have no idea.
Shout out to the real world.
For
Um, yeah, it's just too late. Timing is everything. That's why they say it
sure.
because she even mentioned you asked me this a year ago.
Hmm.
You wouldn't even need to finish your sentence. Bags packed, let's go. At this particular time, I can't leave Marvin. He's
Yeah.
got too much in the game. And Rachel,
Yes.
Rock shows up to the diner
Hmm.
and knows that something must be up, must be important.
Yeah.
Smile on her face. There's not too many times Juke hits her up and says we need to talk. There's something I don't know, some kind of feeling I can't describe really when you find out a relationship that you've had with someone, a good relationship, a strong relationship, um, that one person's had a certain feeling
For sure.
this whole time.
Bitch,
Really,
you hate me? What's happening?
this entire
Yeah.
time, like you felt like that.
Hmm.
Um, Juke has been riding for Rock,
For sure.
and Rock the same, and now you have doubts. And there's nothing more eye opening than that person tells you that you've done things to make me feel less than.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it perfectly, Rachel. There's no inkling of that we've gotten
Yeah.
in the first however many episodes,
Mm-hmm.
39 episodes leading up to this. It's hard to digest.
Yeah.
Um, it's hard to really understand where it's coming from, mainly because it is Juke.
Mm-hmm.
You almost do a double take, like, is this Kanan
Yeah.
on her? And I thought it was incredibly acted by Patina Miller and Haley Kilgore as well. And I think that's probably why it's one of my favorite scenes because of their acting capability. But just what the fuck is going on right now? Because I think that's
Yeah.
how all of us would have done if we were in the same situation. And one of us, if I called you to lunch,
Mm-hmm.
like, Rachel, I really need to talk to you, and I hit you with some, this is all the shit that I don't fuck with you for. Like, what? When? Since when? What?
Yeah.
Just that look of confusion. Like, what? I don't even know where this is coming from. I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was well done. What do you have to say about this scene as a whole? Because it said a lot. And one of my favorite parts was Rock telling her, like, better watch what you say to me. Because you grown now. Rock will give you some grace, but she always
Yeah.
gonna give you a chance.
For sure.
Let you know, man, you're responsible for what come out your mouth now. So slow your roll. I see where this conversation is headed, and then you better be very sure that you want to tread down that path. Because you saying some big girl shit.
You saying some big girl shit. So I mean, I've already said quite a bit, but this conversation, I was really again taken aback by it all. I do appreciate Juke trying to come to Rock as a woman and ask her and sit her down away from Kanan's emotionalism and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that you and I have the relationship where I can talk to you. She misfired in thinking she had the relationship where she could call herself trying to check Rock. And I think that's where it went left. I felt bad, as I have throughout many of these episodes, for Raquel, because again, no inkling of Juke feeling othered by Rock in 39 episodes. I had no idea you felt that way.
That's it, right? Like, it's
Okay.
one thing if I felt or I knew I did some shady shit. I had no clue you even felt this way. This is crazy.
I had no idea. So now here we are. I'm wrestling with that. And then you're questioning me on some shit. Number one, I think for Rock, with the exception of Kanan, who does not fucking listen, she's used to her word being final. Once I said it, that's it. I said it. I told you. We don't know her to be a liar. Many things, but a liar, don't really see that for her. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I've already told the both of y'all, probably in this same damn booth, that I didn't have anything to do with Famous being killed, and definitely not Crystal little ass. Like, give a
Barely
fuck
even
about
knew.
this little girl. It does not make any sense. And so when Juke pressed it, like, well, you just the last person to see her alive. I'm the last person that y'all know that saw her alive. And to your point, Kanan, you running down on her stepdad, you at the school. Y'all didn't go to the bus stop. What
Makes
are y'all
sense,
doing?
right? Just to make sure she made it. Y'all don't even know she made it to the bus. Y'all just assuming it stopped at this random apartment.
That's not on the way.
And while I'm thinking about this, Rachel, I don't know whose apartment that was.
Not at all.
So why would Rock just be at some random apartment just to take?
Come
That's a
on.
lot of work for Crystal.
Come
Rock got
on.
people that can do that.
For somebody of no value, quote unquote, to her. It just didn't make sense. So all of that to say, I was disappointed in Juke, and I appreciate it when Rock told her, like, hey, watch your motherfucking mouth. because you're grown. And we talk about Juke being a trained assassin, it's inner. But with all that Rock got going on,
Mhm.
I don't think you can whoop her ass. And that is what we're coming down to. A colossal ass whooping between one generation and the next because they've gotten too big for their britches. I would challenge the system, sure, but who the fuck you think you're talking to?
Listen, the way she told her, I'm gonna warn you right now. Watch what you say to me. All
She
the good things in our relationship past, I'm telling you right now. You ain't a kid no more. You gonna have to stand on one of Rachel's favorite things. You gonna have to stand on it.
That's it. And that's what I'm saying. We know she survived, but all that confidant, this, that, and the third, it'll never, ever, ever be the same. And yes, Rock is hard, this, that, and the third, but look what she's had to go through. And so has Laverne. She's had to experience a lot. Your mama not shit, your daddy was on drugs. Like, it just was a lot. I understand that. But this
Yeah,
is the person who we thought filled in the gap. So
yeah.
now we, the audience, are essentially sitting here like Rock, like, wait a minute, what the fuck?
Real shit.
You love me, but low key, you don't fuck with me.
Listen, I was there. You didn't even see me. If you did see me, it's because of Kanan. Like, just because you didn't see me doesn't mean I see you, and I do see you. And I don't love it because I don't think she really means this, but I think,
Mhm.
well, it might be a real live realization that, oh, you're a father's daughter. Like,
Pause.
I thought more of you than that.
Pause. Because I want to talk about that. The you your
Okay.
father, you your daddy's son. Uh, I don't. There's few things worse to me than secret animosity and secret disdain, and I
Yeah.
think this is what Rock is starting to calculate in her mind. Wait a minute, you been not fucking with me. You been feeling some kind of way. News to me, but also here it is. Here, I think my brother Marvin also has secret animosity towards me, unsaid resentment, this, that, and the third, because I have taken over the business. And Rock's assessment of Juke was spot on. Here you are getting in some shit,
Mm-hmm. Because a woman
fucking,
came out of the apartment.
fucking some shit up even more low key, because now your bullshit got me and my brother beefing. On top of me and my brother already having tension
Mm-hmm.
because of his shit. And you are moving like him, doing too much without having all the information, thinking that you stepping and stopping some shit, going about it your own way when you really in the way.
I'd rather be like him than you.
Bet. I was
And
not the one.
uh, and all of this because a black woman was coming out of a building. That's all you got.
That's all you got.
It makes me think of.
Not a tall black woman, not a slender black woman. Nigga, I could have walked out that building.
I remember when exactly like you don't even have a description like light skin, fair skin, like
Nothing.
dark skin, nothing. Like you have no idea what long hair, short hair,
Nothing.
braids.
Nothing.
Literally
A
5'2",
woman,
5'9".
a black woman.
No
Nothing.
time of day. You're not asking any questions. It reminds me of season 2 of The Sopranos when Tony and the crew thought Big Pussy was snitching.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony was adamant, even though all the signs were leading to it. Tony was adamant, like good old Uncle Denzel said, Alonzo in Training Day. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
For sure.
Nigga, Tony said, we gotta know 100%. Like I gotta see the proof, and he found his
Yeah.
proof, but I gotta see it before we make any move. That's the same, but they're treating it so flippantly, so
Mm-hmm.
nonchalantly.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about getting Rock up out of here because a woman came out of a building.
Come on, man.
Children, man, children. Um,
Children.
There's one quick thing that I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
talk about character parallels as we discussed Tariq and Kanan being alike.
Mm-hmm.
When Juke said, "I see you, and I know you better than anybody, probably more
Mm-hmm.
than anybody."
Mm,
There are a lot of similarities between Juke and Raq in
for sure.
the need to carry the weight that a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
can't carry. We saw in
Mm-hmm.
original Power with adult Juke,
Yeah.
even what we're seeing now with how she carries things. So better than anybody, yeah, they're very similar. I can see that. But that's going to be, like you said, Rachel, even if we get back to family dinners, that relationship's never going to be the same because
Never.
it's never going to be the
Never.
same. Some things you just can't come back from, even if we can be in the same room, talk, be cordial. It's just not going to be the same because
Nope.
you were cold. Juke was cold, like not welcoming, not inviting in
Mm-hmm.
that seat. And I when Juke got up, there was a
Yeah.
flash or a moment of Rock just at the table. Once again, great expression acting by Bettina Miller. Just kind of, what the fuck just happened? Like what?
Yeah.
I can't believe this shit is really going on. So Juke. Um, we got Marvin and we got Kanan. We got to start with Marvin and Kanan. That's what I'm
For
thinking
sure.
we go. Marvin is trying to make things right with Stefano, trying to step in front of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, we can fix this. I know you upset at me. I know you mad at me. I know, which we know he wouldn't have even done this had he not heard that early went by.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I thought it was. Yeah, I said it, but I ain't mean it like that, which we know is true. But once
Mm-hmm.
again, that's the difference between being on top of your game and leaving things up for discretion.
For
Not
sure.
discretion, but interpretation. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Um, FSF Entertainment even made a comment up about it, or somebody did in a couple episodes ago. Like that's why you have to be on point with your verbiage,
Mm-hmm.
your direction. That's why Marvin ain't Rock.
Yeah.
Rock would have said directly what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, he's trying to clean all this up, and Stefano, like, I'm
Working with
done.
you.
Like, nigga, matter of fact, worst thing I ever done was getting business with you and Rock, because my dick ain't worked in 5 years, and I'm still thinking with it. I feel him, man. Shout out to Rock, man. I feel him. He ain't trying to hear none of that. None of it matters. Can't trust him. Or excuse me. Love the line.
Mm-hmm.
When Marvin tried to flip it, you can't trust him. Oh, but when you vouch for him, he was
You
honest
honest
fucking.
fucking
I had that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of ATL.
Mm.
What I tell you when you did this? Grown man business, huh?
That's it.
It's not the scene, it's the moment. It's just the moment when someone tells you, before you get into this, talk
Mm-hmm.
about it when you can rock. Before this happens, just want to make sure you know the ramifications. This is on the line. If you
Yeah.
choose, your mission shows you choose to accept it. If you continue down this line, this is what's going to happen in return. Do you still
Mm-hmm.
want to do this? We have time right now to fix it. Didn't happen anymore. You told me, and I told you.
Yeah.
If this man's sitting at my table eating with us, you're saying you vouch for him. That means anything he does, whether you know it or not,
Mm-hmm.
you could be completely unaware. You're vouching for him to be a stand-up guy. So it was already fucked up. And
Yeah.
Marvin tried to spin that, and I love the fact that Stefano, nah, nigga, too late. You already told him. Not only that, Russo thinks he can go toe-to-toe with me because
Mm-hmm.
Unique's over there now. Y'all niggas got me moving sloppy. When you do what I do, you're only as strong as the asshole who's least scared of you, which is a bar.
Mm.
Which is a bar. You're only as strong as the asshole who's least scared of you. Tell Rock I'm done. Business is concluded. Get out of here. Fuck out of my face. Nothing really to say except for everything that we said. Marvin is just in a jam. We also see Marvin killing early.
Which he should have done.
Why you don't kill them together? I think we discussed maybe because you don't want to kill back-to-back bookies, whatever. Early go missing. You don't even find a body for early.
Right.
Let them fish early out the same way they did your man's.
For sure.
You gotta get up out of here.
And this is exactly, again, taking it back to the man on top or the woman on top being the woman on top, because when Rock asked him last week, you took care of it or you took care of it your way?
Mm-hmm.
Because taking care of it would have been taking early out at the same time as Londell. And even if you didn't, then when early stepped to you on your property, that's when you should have took that nigga out.
Mm-hmm.
That prevents him from going to Stefano. That prevents Stefano from terminating the business with Rock. That prevents probably Stefano getting stabbed up.
All of it.
Domino effect.
All of it. All of it. Some good things came. We do get to see Amber placed in a new home.
Yes, shout out to that.
Marvin steer off. Yeah, shout out to that.
Seemingly good home.
Seemingly good home. We hope so. We actually get to see the family. It looks
Yeah.
like a white picket fence, 2.5 kids,
Yeah.
some flag saluting motherfuckers. Um, to the main point of Marvin's character in this episode, like many times in his life, I'm sure, he has to go Rock and say, hey, you know what? Kind of fucked up. Stefano's out. And Rock is understandably upset,
For
but
sure.
a different type of upset. Like Rock is really letting this nigga Marvin have it.
Again, after the juke of it all.
Yep. You got to be the very fucking definition of day late, dollar short. I'll talk to Stefano. I'll do the shit myself. Marvin calls her out. Marvin's sick of it too. You make mistakes too. You ain't perfect. He got game. You miss shots too. You think you Jordan? Nigga, you ain't perfect. It is ironic, Rachel. I don't know if you saw it this way or picked up on this. Rock is doing the same thing to Marvin what Kanan's doing to her.
For sure.
Yeah. Like you're taking some information that someone told you. And as I said before, because it's believable, because it's not crazy, because I can see this being a thing, because I can see you, Marvin, like the way you move, potentially doing that. I don't do it. I don't think that's true. And I'll say this. I don't think Rock even felt that way. I don't think she really believed what she was saying. I just think she was so angry that she wanted to let it all out. Like you said, after the juke, everybody playing with my name. Now you telling me I make mistakes too, motherfucker. I know I make mistakes. That doesn't need to be said. I think all of that goes into it. And then, of course, fuck it. Marvin like, fuck you and fuck this whole shit. Because I told Stefano when he brought that shit to me to swat that shit down. And as we know, he told him directly, that's some shit you should never tell me again. Marvin riding for Rock. And it's a hurt and a pain of, you really think I would do that shit? The same way Rock feels, you really think I would do that shit? That's fucked up. Marvin has that same feeling towards Rock. Because we did see him shut that shit down and he does not want any part of it.
We did. But I'm going to push back just a skosh.
Okay.
In regards to her doing the same thing to Marvin as Kanan to her. The difference is that Marvin actually be fucking up. Rock has been wrong. She's made wrong moves, but every season we see some sort of misstep from Marvin that has been detrimental to the Empire. I can get mad at you because here's the reality is you moved wrong with killing the first bookie. When Stefano told your ass, just rough him up. You let your emotions get in the way of doing just that. So you had to hurry up and find somebody to try to cover your steps. We just met early this season. But aside from the whole unique of it all, which still never came to the light that he was behind Unique's rehabilitation, Early don't seem like a trustworthy ass nigga. So you found somebody who was cool and could quote unquote do the work, but he's not somebody. Otherwise, had you not have been fake desperate, again, when you desperate, you do bullshit, mistakes are made. So you find somebody who also is not loyal to you, who's only loyal to themselves and only looking to cover their own ass, so won't even ride for you in the case that I actually have to. Marvin be fucking up. And you can take this tongue lashing because the reality is that this is your fault. All of this is a combination of shit that you did. even aside from the unique of it all, Stefano would have kept his shit in his garages until it was time to move. Like, had he not have gone into business with you, so this is your sexism, Stefano, that got you doing shit with my muscle. I know how to run Marvin because I know my brother. Even if I make a mistake in putting too much on him, I can take that because for the most part, I know what he can and can't take. Stefano, all you see is a motherfucking muscle man, a sniper behind a gun. All you see is the body. You know what I'm saying? You have the trigger. That's it.
Mhm.
You don't know. You had to find out that one error, okay, and then the next one, this is a pattern. I can't remember the line he said last week, but you had to find out some shit I already know, and you thought you knew better than me because I'm a woman. This is why I don't have him do side shit that has not already been run and approved by me, because I know that he's probably gonna fuck it up in some capacity, whether he means to or not, because he never sees the full play.
Yeah, can't keep a story straight because you're crooked.
Because you're crooked.
Talking about both sides of your map. You confusing.
Come on, man.
Leaving you was a mistake.
Mm.
Yeah, she got in. I think Marvin could have taken the tongue lash, and I don't think he could take the accusation that I was trying to take your spot.
That's it.
Which I do see them. Listen,
they will be fine.
I was about to say,
they are brother and sister.
We're literally about to say that. If we know anything about the time,
they will be fine.
We've seen the ups and downs,
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be perfectly fine. Yeah, they'll be perfectly fine.
And that's it. So even not just am I mad about the Stefano shit? Because I am mad. Like, be very fucking clear. I'm mad about it. But now your motherfucking daughter,
Yeah.
your motherfucking daughter comes up in my face telling me she'll rather be like yo silly ass than like me, trying to check me.
Yeah, y'all got me fucked up.
Y'all all got me fucked up. I killed mommy because your bitch ass couldn't.
Yeah, grossly fucked up.
Now I got to take some of that out on you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And I can do that because the reality is that I know you can take it.
Yeah. Transitioning to a character.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it won't be all right. The namesake of the show, Kanan Stark.
Hold on. Before we do that, did you want to talk about Juke and Marvin's talk about Rock? You feel like we got enough?
No. I mean, yeah.
No,
the only thing that really, from my notes was the fact that they asked. I think we kind of covered it. The whole point was that Marvin and Lou both mentioned, like, nah, Rock wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I do like it can be triggering anytime you see Marvin in Juke's room.
Mm-hmm.
So it is cool to see them having real conversations. And the one thing I will say is I do appreciate Marvin opened the door, like it sounded like you had company, but Juke went in with it on some, it was Aisha, like being open about it. So it was just a cool daughter-father moment more than anything, plus the whole Rock of it all. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Kanan fucking Stark.
So small timetable thing. I mentioned this earlier. In an earlier episode this season, I told y'all Kanan had on Jordan 9s. Jordan 9s came out in November of 1993. He's actually at Joyce's burial site with Jordan 9s on his will. Hers is November 1992. So unless Kanan got the ultimate plug,
they rich. They got that exclusive.
The timeline is off by a year. And the only reason I'm even bringing this up, it's not a big deal, is just to kind of put out some flame on the fire that I've been seeing about the whole Ghost and Tommy of it all. It's just more of a reference of they're not going to be able to squeeze Breeze's story into one season of this show.
Yeah.
But where we're going, I think, is going to be focused on the Thomases like it has been versus this new wave of things. It's just an introduction. And we'll get Breeze, of course, in the new season. And we'll see how Kanan builds up his business. But we're still going to be tied up in the whole familiar part of it and how everything gets resolved there. I think it's a side story. That's going to be our B plot more than a beef and a war. So I think the
Okay.
main things are going to be, how do we fix this as a family? Kanan being on his own with the whole Breeze thing, and then of course the war that is inevitable. And I think that's how we close out this series. Um, and I honestly think that everybody does make it out, since we are in it that way. I think they're not telling us. It'd be different if they were going all the way up until Kanan went to jail. But since we know that's not happening, it is what it is. Because of those clips I sent you as well, Ghost told Tariq he killed Breeze when he was his age. Yeah. This is when Tariq might have been 16? Late high school, maybe right before. Yeah, because he wasn't in college. He ended the series in college. So yeah, he might have been at Choke or something like that, 16, 17. Kanan's about 17 right now, 16, 17. And we know Ghost and Tommy are younger. Yeah. So I just can't see it all happening without a major time jump. But I don't think the show would do that anyway, because it's not about them. But I do think it is a perfect lead into what you said earlier, Rachel, about the spinoff that is going to be coming with those two. So one will spill into the other. Kanan, and I don't know if you, maybe I'm looking too deep into this. Crystal's mom's boyfriend, he has the name, I can't remember it. He's too much of an ancillary character to keep having these one-off scenes with. Yeah. For some reason, I don't think we see the last of him. He's going to find out. He's going to tell Kanan what information he's gotten about Crystal. That's the only reason they would have this man being terrorized by Kanan, because he doesn't play a purpose anyway. There's no need for him at all. There's no information that's acquired that he has to be the one to deliver it. He's just there as a pinata for Kanan episodes, pretty much, whether it's verbal or physical. And I see him playing some kind of role into season 5. That's just my thought. He obviously wants to know how Crystal's mom's doing, checks him for being the problem, and tells him to hit me if you hear anything. I don't know if that ran through your mind, but I'm like, why is this dude here? Because he's not needed.
I did not think anything of it, but as you were talking, I thought maybe Garcia makes his way essentially down there, and maybe he has some knowledge of the actual building that Crystal was found in. And also, with that building, I wonder if that is a Snaps and Pop staple. And being that he is older, he may have that information. And he might know that that's their stomping grounds. That's their East River.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Snapping Pops. Your people keep ending up dead, Kanan. This is the sit down at the bar. Kanan just wants to know about a person of interest. And this is a scene, I'm sure you might feel the same way, Rachel. It's so frustrating to watch as a viewer, because you know what's going on, and they're putting it right there for you, Kanan. They're suspicious. You keep asking these questions, you might start thinking that we did, or people might start thinking that we had something to do with it. Did you do anything about the information we gave you about your mother?
Y'all are fishing.
Yeah, y'all fishing. You got to see that. You got to be able to pick that up, right? You got to be able to see that. I know you're acting off emotion, but Kanan, like, fuck all that. I just want to know what happened to Crystal. I want you to ask questions. I don't want you to ask no task force. But they transitioned to, I heard that you and Nick linked up.
How would you know that?
Unique did talking. Nigga, I ain't saying nothing. We got a big appetite. We hungry. We want a bigger portion of Southside Jamaica Queens, and we would love to get in business with y'all, especially since Rock is beefing with the Italians. Yeah. We also gonna link you up with our nephew, because we think that'd be a good fit, in order to get the points that we deserve. Because that's all they are. They all just trying to put the people together. We got the supply, y'all run it together, we get the money. He was in East New York. We also learned that DEF CON was pushing weight for Snapping Pops in the back in the day. So their reach goes far back. Yeah. As we alluded to. But the moment that a lot of Power fans have been waiting for. Go ahead.
Pause.
Yeah.
When DEF CON went to jail, and died, he might owe Snaps and Pops some money.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And
Damn.
that might be their interest or part of their interest. Yeah, you all of this, but daddy left a tab and it's got to get paid. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
they can't pull that card yet because they want to make sure the sentence off of them for the whole crystal things. They want to make sure they're in the clear before they start talking something. Yeah, you really owe
Mm-hmm.
us. So they are being extra nice in their
Mm-hmm.
own way to
Mm-hmm.
Kanan. But the moment a lot of Power fans have been alluding to, waiting on, we meet Snap and Pop's nephew, which I got a question for you here in a second. A lot of talk has been made each season of Raising Kanan.
Mm-hmm.
Is Unique Breeze? Is Ronnie Breeze? Here Breeze is his whole own individual. What's his government name?
Bransford.
Bransford, which is wild. And that nigga Shamik Moore looks like a Bransford.
Yeah.
You said how you can see how. Excuse me. You said you can see how Ghost could take the business from Kanan.
Mm-hmm.
I can see how Ghost killed Breeze based off the casting that they have. Yeah, I can definitely see that because listen, Shamik Moore, whatever, say what you want. Not in love with the casting. I think
Mm-hmm.
he'll do a good job. I just didn't see it.
Who would you
Ironically,
cast?
that's a good question. So that's the thing. How old is Breeze supposed to be? Maybe. Okay. Kind of in the same light, Rachel. So you might say either one would be the same thing, but Caleb McLaughlin, I think that would have been cool to see him. Stranger Things, Concrete Cowboy,
He too little.
Shamik Moore little. What are you talking about? You know who would be the perfect role for it, but he's almost too good.
Who?
Ashton Sanders.
I don't know who that is. Let me see.
Moonlight, Equalizer 2, um, Wu-Tang, Judas Black Messiah.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he would be perfect to me.
Equalizer 2. Yeah, I love him. I did not think of. Oh, I haven't seen him in a long time. The last thing I saw him in was not Of Mice of Men, but the
Yeah, he hasn't been in anything since Invasion.
something Wright. Not Jeffrey Wright. Who's the
Oh,
actor?
all day and a night.
Mm-mm. Uh, Native Son.
Okay,
Native
got
Son is a book. I can't think of the author's first name, but his last name is Wright.
you. He hasn't been in anything since
Richard Wright.
2021. But he's
Okay.
got 5 things coming up. He's got 5 projects that will be released.
Okay. Shout out to Ashton. Welcome back. Who I thought, and they can't do it because of book 2, Woody McClain.
Yeah. Yeah, he feels a little bit too. I don't know. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, if he wasn't a Hurricane, if he wasn't Kane, he could have been Breeze.
What can I think? Yeah, Kane. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, those are the two that I really thought of. Really, Ashton Sanders would be my choice, but if you wanted to
Yeah.
go someone younger, Caleb McLaughlin. But like I said, that's why I said him and Shamik Moore kind of one of the same.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I see that. Just an introduction. It was more so the reveal. What did you think about us meeting Breeze? What were your initial thoughts when you finally had to see? They really played it up as far as the reveal goes.
Okay, mine were a little petty.
Okay.
The first thing I really thought was I hated those faux furs that Snaps and Pop had on. Like, I felt like
Fuji sweaters underneath.
yeah, I felt like costuming could have came a little harder. That looked like a fur that I would have on. A Nova fur, not a real daddy. For them to be, you know, for if you look at the brown furs that they had on in the park when they met Kanan, and told them about Fame, or when he was asking about Fame, those look real as opposed to these black ones that look a mess. Um, I didn't love this scene, to be
Okay.
honest.
It was kind of awkward.
It was awkward. I appreciate a good in-person meetup, I guess, but
I wanted more dialogue around it. I didn't want it to just. I didn't want the repetition of this is just a meet, nothing more, nothing less. I wanted that first meet to have a little bit more meat on the
that
bone. Yeah, like set us up for the next season. I know you are with showing us each other, but have a little bit of a conversation, even if it's 30 seconds.
instead of Breeze sitting there ice grilling,
Heard you like me.
yeah, I didn't like it. If there was anything about the episode that I would change, it would be this scene in particular. And for Snaps and Pop to be who they are, I'm just surprised that this meeting wasn't more discreet. You out on the block, you bring him out, you come in flashy from East New York to Southside Jamaica, like, yeah, this is a sign to show Kanan that you're getting money too out there, but it just was loud. And again, my mind just went to James Ghost St. Patrick and niggas being in the way. And a
Mhm.
loud, flashy nigga for a business that requires discretion, you in the way. A Nepo baby dope dealer, you in the way. I very much see how this went left and was taken from both Kanan and Breeze's grasp, because to be all about your business, again, maybe it's the casting, but you don't seem like you got it like that and got it all without a bit of hand holding.
Yeah, I shouldn't be able to. I shouldn't look at a drug lord in my
Hmm.
first idea. I could rob this nigga.
For
Like
sure.
that should never. I'm a civilian for
Yeah.
reference. I'm not talking about you being in the game and thinking. I'm talking about a regular ass tax paying nigga like me
Hmm.
sees
Hmm.
a nigga like Breeze.
Yeah.
Even though I would not do it because I'm a civilian,
Yeah.
I immediately think, oh, I could rob him. Like I could take
Hmm.
that. I can take that whip, his chain, everything. And I'm gonna go about my day.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you gotta look like food. Or maybe, to your point, Rachel, you are connected to legacy, snapping
Hmm.
pops. Which I gotta ask you, is that a play nephew or a blood nephew? And the reason I'm asking is because we know that Kanan and Breeze do business together,
Hmm.
right? Into their adult life. It's gotta come out that Snapping Pops was responsible for Crystal and Fame.
Hmm.
How do you continue a business relationship like that when I gotta take out your people? Unless the line that Breeze had carried more weight than what we're thinking right now, which was if you all about your business, we'll never have a disagreement. We'll always be on the same page. Whatever it was that he said amongst those lines. I just don't see how that works. And I'm curious to know if we're gonna learn more about their actual relationship. Are you our drug nephew where we seen you as a pup and brought you in? Or are you our real blood nephew?
Um, they were too affectionate towards him to be it just a nigga that they love because he brings them money.
I mean, but they might have seen him as a youngster. Like they might treat him like a nephew on some trying to think of a reference or a parallel, but
I think he's somebody's sister baby. I think
yeah,
he's a real nephew.
Like Sonny and C, like in Bronx said. Like C was like Sonny's son in a sense, even though he wasn't his real child. But he's been around since a youngster. And maybe you grow that kind of familial bond over the time. But you think it's actually some blood relation there.
Yeah, because you're not in Southside Jamaica where they are.
Yeah, he was in East New York. You are now, but you were in East New York.
Yeah. I think that he is somebody's real nephew. But I also think, and I saw what you sent me this morning
Yeah.
in regards to Ghost rationale for killing Breeze. and I saw 50, you make comment or grown Kanan say that's why you killed Breeze. I saw him recant the story to Tariq about Ghost killing Breeze, but maybe there's more to Ghost killing Breeze, being that you idolized Kanan. Maybe there's more to him being in the way of your ambition.
Yeah, and
And
Ghost is a dirty nigga too.
yeah, that is true.
One of the
However,
worst type of niggas.
we watched grown Kanan whisper evil nothings into Tariq's ear.
Yeah.
We don't know that he wasn't also whispering to Kanan, I mean to Ghost and Tommy, spreading seeds and this, that, and the third about taking a man on top out.
Yeah.
And it's less about the business of it all. And some of it, yes, I'm about my business, but sometimes business gets personal.
That's it. Obviously, Tamik Moore will be a regular in season 5.
Mm-hmm.
Very fascinated with this new storyline. We're getting something new at the end, which I think can work.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna love to see how they tie it all together. And then, of course, Rachel, we can end our episode. Garcia always knows where these niggas are, even in the early
Always.
90s.
Mm-hmm.
No GPS, no technology, just happens to know their routine, pulls up on Kanan. We don't see the conversation, but obviously it led to Kanan upset in his apartment with Juke once again, similar to the open. He said that he saw a woman come out. Juke is trying to convince him we don't know if it's Rock. Tell me she ain't do it. Bet. You can't say that, then I'm out of here. Grabs the gun, slightly intentional, unintentional, points the gun at Juke on some either you with me or you ain't me, or excuse me, either you with me or you ain't with me.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Juke make a phone call, and I think that phone call, whoever that call was to, is probably the shot we hear. Whoever she called, it was because of Kanan going over the rocks. Okay. I don't know who they shot. I don't know if it's a shot in the air. I don't know if it's a shot in the shoulder. But if anybody got shot in that room, I think it was Kanan, not Rock.
I agree.
I just don't know. Marvin. Which would make sense because Marvin has been telling us for reasons that boy needs discipline.
Yeah.
The only other person that's interesting that she could have called was Garcia. I don't think she lets Garcia in that close and family business like that. That's too personal. You only call personal. It's a slight idea, but I can't see it happen. I couldn't see Garcia because Garcia's not the only cop they could have trusted in that situation was Howard.
Yeah. It's not Marvin, then it's Lou that she called, or she tried to call Rock to forewarn her, but it's too late.
Yeah,
but
that
again,
could be it too.
And Marvin, not Marvin, but Lou, not Lou. What's the boy's name? Kanan does end up getting a shot off, but again, we know that she's alive.
Kanan, excuse me. Along with our conversation after Chad sang our praises, he did ask me, do you think, he said, sometimes prequel shows might forget the original
plot
ideas, might go off script a little bit, which is a complaint for a lot of prequel shows when they don't stick to the original. But I don't think that's the case here. He asked me, does he think there's any chance that Rock gets killed? And I said, 0 chance. Like, you don't, and really, from take the storyline away, just from a production standpoint, you don't get rid of Patina Miller with the whole season to go.
Yeah.
You just don't do that. She's the heart of the show. Like, this is, I know it's Raising Kanan, but this is really who it's about.
For sure.
Kanan is like 1B, and I say Rock is 1A.
Yeah.
So I can't see 10 episodes. Maybe if this was episode 7, 8, all right, you can convince me. But not with the whole season left. I just don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
But what did you think about the standoff? And Rock pointed his gun at Rock, with Rock seemingly ready to transition and become an ancestor, and all of the things that Kanan was telling her at this moment. What were your thoughts on the scene?
I thought about Lou's conversation with Kanan, about Rock being the biggest man that anybody knows. because she swallowed and she looked him in the eyes. You're going to have to look at me while you do it. I'm telling you, I'm your mother. You're my life. You're my world. She's not lying. That is, in fact, the truth. She's only tried to protect him, even in killing Howard and actually killing Howard. This is me trying to protect you because Howard was willing to give all of us up. My brothers, who I'm not willing. I didn't even talk about how Howard was trying to send Marvin up last season to protect Kanan. These siblings ain't going.
Yeah.
We can fight. You cannot touch. What did you say about my brother? You can you cannot play with them people, okay? And so you got to look at me while you do that shit. I only loved you. I've only tried to protect you. I only want what's best for you. So I didn't kill your friend. I didn't kill your girl. You're not listening. Rock has told everybody who will listen that Kanan don't listen. And when he thinks he knows, he's gonna fuck up, just like his Uncle Marvin. Ain't nobody listen to Rock though. Typical. So I appreciated her making him look at him. Look at her.
Well, you know, Rachel, according to Kanan, she can't say that to him because she wants him all to herself. So he's not allowed to have friends in a life because Rock just wants him for herself, which the show has actually done a pretty decent job of kind of setting it up that way to at least understand why Kanan feels that way. But we also have the point of view to know that's not it. Like Rock just
Mama been trying to have a life too.
Yeah, Rock just cares and she wants to make sure he's good. The issue is that Kanan, you continuously show us that you're not mature enough to be left alone, especially in this life. If Kanan was a college student, Rock wouldn't be involved in this way. She wouldn't really be having any say so. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. She wouldn't be on her Jaden Daniels mama, and she has a name, so I need to. I know her name. I can't think of it right now. Where she's overprotective and really trying to make sure. I think it's literally because of how dangerous the life that we live is that I want to protect you at all costs because the last thing I can have is that blood on my hands, knowing I could have done something to protect you. Mama Bear, the whole nine. So we see Kanan hesitate and then refocus before we hear the shot. Some people didn't like the cliffhanger. Some people wanted to have a resolution. Kind of reminded me a little. It made more sense to me. And before they announced it, as soon as I saw the way this episode ended, I said it. And I just want to say, I've been saying for a little while that I think next season was going to be like, it just made sense from based off, you're running out of story. You couldn't, and they did it perfectly, bringing in Breeze and everything else because you couldn't run the Unique thing back.
Yeah.
That's something else because Unique was wild to start this season. But it kind of reminded me of another show we did, House of the Dragon, where it ended right before the Great War. And I'm just like, fuck, we want to see it. We want to see it, but it's great cliffhanger television. We're going to start off season 5 with a bang. And that's pretty much it, Rachel.
That's it.
I do want to say, for one, shout out to everybody. I can't say this enough. Like the love y'all show us, the comments, the interaction, the views, the likes, all of that means so much. Make sure you're subscribed, tell a friend, anybody who loves television to subscribe to us. Follow us on Instagram. We got y'all pod. But also, as Chad said, man, Ray P, the GOAT, the one person who I have the pleasure week in, week out to have these conversations with. Man, I had so much fun with this, Rachel, and I love you so much. And I'm glad that, as you always say, real friends. We weren't grouped together. We're real friends in real life. And even when it comes to the work, I look back at some of our, our catalog. As much as I love Your Honor, as much as I love the agency, as much as I love what we did with Rap Shit, with Winning Time, Insecure, of course, Run the World, all these shows that we covered. Yeah, all these shows that we covered, I really think this is right up there near the top as far as this conversation. And I kind of had the feeling because I remember the feedback we got from our season 3 recap. We didn't cover the season, but we was like, you know what, let's just give some thoughts because it was so good.
Yeah.
A lot of love and people saying, yo, y'all need to cover this next year, and here we are. So shout out to you, Ray P.
I love you.
Like,
this is it. And I was looking up, y'all. Also, check out our email. Send us some feedback, comments, suggestions, whatever at wegoty'allpodcast@gmail.com. With that being said, Kieron, I love you. I'm looking at the clock. Peace, y'all. Thank you for listening. We'll see y'all in the next episode, the next season of something. We'll let y'all know. Peace.
Peace. Stay subscribed. We'll be back soon. Trust me.
We'll be
Sooner
back
rather
very
than later.
soon. But
Sooner rather than later. Y'all be cool.
Bye.